Hello everyone, welcome in to the live stream today for Hull City versus Watford down in Watford. As you can tell just beneath me, I do have the Hull and Watford badges there ready for the scores. Hopefully I'm going to be a couple to add onto the Hull City side of things, and hopefully, I mean, nothing to add to the Watford side of things, but hopefully it's at least less than what I have to add to the Hull City side of the scorecard. So let me know how you are all doing today. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Lovely Saturday. It's Saturday today. And ready for a Hull City win. Hopefully. Hopefully that is what is on the cards for the Tigers today. Of course, coming into this off the back of a fantastic win at home against Southampton last weekend. And of course, Watford coming in off the back of a 1-0 loss on Monday. And of course, the lingering doubts surrounding their manager where he could possibly get the sack if a poor performance follows out Watford today. So I hope you are all doing well as always. And all that juicy goodness. And I will quickly rack through the team sheets for either side. So we'll first of all start off with the hosts, the Watford side. So in a bit of a turn, Nathan Baxter is starting in net for Watford. I didn't know if he would, but after I sort of filmed my prediction video yesterday, had a bit of a deeper look into it, and it seemed like that Watford's number one starting goalkeeper got injured last week. He was subbed off at half-time. Nathan Baxter made his debut last week on Monday, coming on to replace him just before half-time or just after half-time, and now he makes his full debut for Watford today. A back three seems with possible wing-backs of Alain, Keben and Pollock. Head of that, Petrus and Ngaki is going to be the wide men out on their sides. Lousy, Mendy and Kayembe is going to be the men in the midfield. And up top, Semedo and the man that I told you to watch out for, Iran Kunda. Definitely butchered some of them names. I'm very, very sorry. Coming into the Hull City lineup, only one change from the side that started against Southampton last time out. And that being a one enforced change. Of course, we know Mohamed Baloumi, he's going to be out for about 6 to 8 weeks. Cody Drameh comes in to replace him, presumably playing on the right wing. Not seen Cody Drameh played there an awful lot, if at all, actually. I think we might be testing to roll back the clocks to prior... I don't even know if Drameh's ever played on the right wing, actually. I was going to say roll the clocks back to prior to last season, but I don't think when Drameh came in, I think he went straight to that right back spot. So might be Drameh's first time in a Hull City shirt out on the right wing. We'll see how that test goes. Of course, we do have David Akintola on the bench as well. Come to that in a second. But Hull City's lineup is Ivo Panda in the net, be a back line of Giles, Hughes, Egan and Coyle. Head of that, John Lundstrom and Amir Hadzayametrovic get the start in the defensive midfield department. Kyle Joseph out on the left. As I said, Cody Drameh out on the right. Joe Giltart sitting behind. Big old Ollie McBurney up top for the Tigers. Now, substitution-wise, I just go through the Tigers ones and we'll talk through Watford ones as and when they come. So, of course, man on the bench being the keeper for Hull City, well, that is Dylan Phillips. Liam Miller makes his long-awaited return to the Hull City squad as he is on the bench for this one, presumably going to get a couple of minutes later on in the game. As I said, David Akintola is also on the bench, matched with Akin Famewo, Darko Gabi, Regan Slater. Brandon Williams returns to the bench after having his little bit of a concussion, precautionary matters suffering a couple of weeks ago in training. He's not been in the matchday squad for a little bit. Enes Destan and Casey Palmer completes the substitutes for the Tigers. Of course, this is a Hull City side that will be out there today in their brand new third shirt, the brand new alternate shirt, the blue one with the sort of funky patterns on. It looks a bit like a tiger. It looks a little bit like you're going round to your nan's for a meal on her fine china. But we are ready to play in that one. And hopefully it brings the Tigers some good luck today to make it back-to-back wins and progress even further on in this championship. A championship table that's looking a little bit strange at the moment, of course. Some sides that you probably presume to be up at the top are not. But of course, as I always say, never look at the table too closely before Christmas, as it always just runs away, doesn't it? And you can't really look into it too much. I'm just going to move my mic, just getting ready for kickoff as I angle myself this way and maybe tuck my chair in a little bit without knocking my computer too much as we get ready for kickoff. So hopefully everyone is good and ready and raring to go, we'll say, ahead of this one. Going to be an interesting test, to say the least, for both sides, really. Of course, Watford not looking too good at the moment. 1 win, 2 draws, 3 losses to start their championship campaign this season. And Hull City looking to bounce on from a couple of good results post-international break. So we will hope that everything is fine and dandy for the Tigers. So hopefully everything is all good. You can all hear me. And getting ready for kickoff. About 4 minutes shy of kickoff. So, of course, I'm going to have a sip out of the Hull City glass mug for a bit of good luck, we'll say. I mean, last time I had a sip out of this was the Wrexham game, but it was all going well up until the end, and I think I didn't have a sip at the end. So we're not going to blame the glass mug too much for that one. We'll more blame the fact that Hollywood shenanigans, we'll say. Welcome into the stream, everyone. I hope we are all doing fine and dandy, and hopefully the Tigers, who are appearing from the tunnel, and as I said, in this brand new blue affair, can help you feel even better today on a bit of a gloomy Saturday at the moment in East Yorkshire. But it seems to be a little bit sunny down in the south, down at Watford, as Hull City make their way out onto the field, sporting a black armband on the shirt. I'll talk about that maybe a bit at half time, why that may be due to one of Hull City's players from the past passing away, unfortunately, this past week. I think maybe even yesterday. But I'll, as I say, I'll get into that more probably at half time as we talk through some more bits, and hopefully at half time we do have a lead or certainly some good performances to talk about, as they're just exchanging a couple of greetings between the players and, of course, the manager and officiating staff, ready and raring to go for this one. So say, welcome in all. And it's going to be certainly an interesting one, of course. Hull City shaping off against former Tiger Nathan Baxter, who has had a bit of a rocky time since leaving Hull City. He had a good start to his time at Bolton last season, and it sort of went off the rails a bit. He had a horrible last game for Bolton, where I think he conceded 4. One of them was his own error, and all sorts of stuff like that, and they lost 4-2. So hopefully, in his his full debut here for Watford, we'll see somewhat of the same things. Of course, this is a Watford side that have got an okay defence. They've not conceded too many goals, but they haven't been scoring all either. So it's certainly going to be one of the games, maybe a little bit similar to last week, where we see Hull City try and capitalise and break through the defence, and then trust our defending to stand and withstand the blows from Watford. Certainly, Morgan, it is interesting having Drama on the wing. I'm unsure about that one. I maybe would have preferred to have David Akintola out on the wing rather than starting Cody Drama out on the wing, unless Drama has shown something in training to prove that he is the answer at right wing. Certainly for the time being, until injuries and stuff subside and Liam Miller possibly be back fully ready to go. But certainly an interesting one to have him out on the wide. Whether that is just something formatting wise, and it might change as the game develops. We might see Geldhart go out on the wide. You may see Amir Mitrovic push forwards and Drama drop back into a bit more of a defensive duty. Or whether you are looking for a bit of a double defense on either wing. Of course, Kyle Joseph can get back, and he'll show his work rate in this one, with Watford having a couple of pacey forwards. Possibly that is the thinking around that one. Not really sure. We will see how it does pace out. Certainly these opening couple of minutes will be a telltale sign for this one, as both teams just getting ready, as kickoff should be within the next couple of seconds here at Vicarage Road. Hoping, as I say, for Hull City to make it back-to-back wins and to make it 7 points from a possible 9 in the last 3 fixtures following the international break. It'll be the first run out as well in the new blue kit. Of course, blue shirt, blue shorts, blue socks, it seems like a bit of a sky baby blue socks. As Geldhart gets Hull City underway, he sends it all the way back to Ivo Panda, who will now shepherd it long, looking out wide for the head of Kyle Joseph, who tries to nod it on for Ollie McBurney. He gets it down and lays it off for Ollie McBurney, but then that one goes dribbling out from a touch by Mendy of Watford, and it will be Giles to get Hull City underway from a throw-in here. Sends it back towards Charlie Hughes, who tries and scoops one a bit over the top. That has a bit too much on it to meet anyone in a blue shirt for Hull City. And it'll be Nathan Baxter to have his first goal kick of the game. So hoping, as we say, to really capitalise, maybe apply the pressure on early to Watford might be the aim of the game for City here. Nathan Baxter, of course, facing off against the side that he formerly was at, and didn't look too badly as a Hull City player, certainly to start his time in the black and amber shirt. But this time, I believe, his first time facing off against us since departing Hull City. A little bit of header tennis around the midfield inside of Hull City's half, but Watford do get the ball away as they send the ball now down to Ngakia, who will send a nice ball into the box. A bit of a Di Canio effort from an attacker for Watford, who's now just saying, I want the ball a bit higher next time, and he sends that one out, and I believe it'll be a turn for Ivo Panda to have his first goal kick of the game, as that effort wasn't enough there for Watford to even steer it on target, let alone try and trouble Ivo Panda in the green. So ball long from the goal kick. It was actually Hughes to take the goal kick. And that one just bounced over a couple of heads there for Hull City. And so Watford do have a throw-in on this one on the far hand touchline, just inside of their own half. Waiting to get things underway here. Watford throw it in. Looping effort. That's going to meet the head of Charlie Hughes, who is looking to try and cement himself a little bit more. Of course, having a few shaky performances already this season. Has looked a bit better as the games have progressed, especially since coming back from the international break. But certainly a clean sheet would do the world of good for this Hull City defensive lineup. And also Ivo Panda. We saw how distraught he was at the end of the game last weekend against Southampton as they lost the clean sheet right at the death of it. I believe in extra time it was. It is now Ngakia again for Watford, trying a little bit of skill moves to try and work it past Drama and Coyle. Of course, both of them covering that position there. A little bit of a scooping effort there from Kyle Joseph. Gets out towards Lundstrom. Lundstrom will now try and send it down to Giles on the left-hand side. He'll have to play it back, though, towards Lundstrom as 2 men come on him. Now, Amir Hazemetrovic gets his first touch of the game. He sends it forward towards Kyle Joseph. He tries and plays a little bit of a dodgy ball to Giles, and that one goes out of play for another Watford throw-in. 3 minutes in here. And Baxter will send it to his defender in a bit of a 1-2 affair to try and get some space working, presumably, for Watford here. Just Baxter holding the ball up in his midfield. Not an overly crammed stadium today at Watford. Presumably the recent results have been portraying that. Kyle Joseph does well, though, to take a ball down. And he's now almost armbarred down to the floor. Watford do get away with the ball and will send it forwards down the right-hand side. Giles holds up his man there well, so they have to play it back in towards a bit of a midfield compartment. It is now Kayembe with Watford, moving over towards Pollock, back towards Kayembe, who then sends it over towards Lauser. Sorry if I'm butchering some of these names once again. And now Watford sending a ball into the box. That's met, though, by the sure-footed John Egan, who sends it back out for a Watford throw-in by Pollock. Just tilt my camera down a bit. Is that a bit better? I think that might be a bit better. Baxter currently has the ball. Got a little bit of a hiccup then. He's barking out a few orders. And Watford trying to build up a little bit of attacking play there. And Hull City have the throw-in. Kyle Joseph does well to work it smartly and quickly. As soon as the referee blew it, he was there on the ball, sends it down the line towards Ollie McBurney. McBurney picks it up, holds off two men that are on him, and then he'll use the touch off one of the Watford players to win Hull City the first corner of the game. So nice wherewithal there from Kyle Joseph to play to the referee's whistle and get things going quickly, which caught Ollie McBurney in a bit of space and then was resulting in that corner kick now being offered towards Hull City, which Ryan Giles will come over and take. Few tall men in the box, certainly not the tallest bunch though, with where you look at Darko Gayabi on the bench as well. But you have got Ollie McBurney in there, and he knows how to take a header. We've seen it a couple of times already this season. Ball into the box, headed away by Watford, driven back in by Amir Hazayemitrovic, and that deflects off another Watford player. Not too bad that by Amir Hazayemitrovic. Comes charging in on the stray ball. Headed away by number 4 of Watford, and Amir Hazayemitrovic just looks perfectly, times his run, comes in, low-driven volley. And it deflects off number 4 again for Watford, sending that one out for a corner kick. I don't think that it would have been necessarily a goal. No, it certainly wouldn't have been. It was miles wide off the shot from Amir Hazayemitrovic, but still, a corner kick has been won, and we'll see if Hull City can produce anything from it this time. Giles once again to take. Over on that far hand touchline. Arm up in the air by Giles. Ready to take it. And he is going to whip it in now. Whips into the box. Headed away by Watford there. Back out towards Giles. Who will now try and... I don't know if he was trying to megs the Watford player or what there. But Watford do have the ball in result of it. Sliding effort by Cody Drammer to try and stop the counter-attack going through. And Amir Hazayemitrovic picks up the stray ball, firing it back. It's going to be Iran Kunda to pick up the ball now for Watford. Giles applying a bit of pressure, but he's going to let that one roll out for the throw-in. Couple of, I want to call them dodgy corners by Hull City, but certainly not going to their full capability, not landing them in the correct spacing, shall we say, in this one so far. Petrus is going to take the throw-in now for Watford. Fires it in. Egan sort of volleys it over everyone's head, trying to find Geldhart. It deflects off Geldhart now and then goes out for another throw-in. So Petrus will take the throw-in once again. A couple of paces up from where he last took the last one. And so Hughes will try and header it on. And I think he's either I think it is a free kick. He may have been pushed in the back or something. And has won a free kick for Hull City. The referee just blew the whistle. And telling Hull City to take the ball back as they try to take it up a few paces. Amir Hazayemitrovic just going to take it this time for Hull City. Sun glistening in his eyes. Seems that's going to be a bit of a trouble for certainly people facing the camera as the view takes it. So over on the far side, looking towards this near side. Watford do well, though, to pick the ball up from that free kick from Amir Hazayemitrovic. And are now trying to work a bit of a pacey counter-attack going. It breaks through past Hull City's defence. Shot blocked, though, by Giles. Giles as well there to block the shot from Semedo. And we'll send it out for, I think, a corner kick that would be. But that can just show you how quickly this Watford side can open up. It's more, they can have the shots, but can they actually convert them into goals? And that's going to be the test for Hull City, where they're going to try and stop the build-up play from happening from Watford. Because surely if they're going to keep on having shots, they're going to find the back of the net. And maybe it is just a stroke of unluckiness that they've had at the moment. Bit of header tennis at the moment. Kyle Joseph tries on Hoofs one clear. Comes off a little bit awkwardly off his foot. And that'll go out for a Watford throw-in inside of the Hull City half. As Jaden Philogene has just scored for Ipswich against Portsmouth. If you care to know. Former Hull City man. Of course, there, Jaden Philogene. Not looking too badly, actually, to start his season back in the Championship at Ipswich. I believe he got either a brace or a hat-trick. Was it against Sheffield United the other week, sorry. Watford firing this one in as I try and grab the glass mug thing. Watford sort of heading it back to try and keep the possession. Playing a little bit deeper in Hull City's half. Trying a cross-field ball. And that's just going to sail over everyone's head. And work out for a Hull City goal kick. Not seeing too much of drama so far on that right wing to sort of comment on how this may be shaping. But it is another goal kick now for Hull City. Whether it'll be Panda or Hughes to take will remain to be seen. It's going to be Panda to take it long. Heading forward to try and find Ollie McBurnie, who runs onto that one. Instead finds a Watford man off the resulting of that. Deflects then off of Giles as he tried to make a pass forwards. And that's going to go out for a Watford throw-in. In a very similar position to where they've had quite a few throw-ins now. If there was a heat map, that would be scorching red, to say the least. Watford firing one in from the throw-in. Trying to keep the possession there, but Lundstrom does well to slide in and send the ball out of play. Lundstrom throwing his hands about. He got the ball, he says. Watford man thinks that he got his leg, as he's currently down, covering his face, covering his leg. Gets up, realises that he's got the free kick and he doesn't need to play up so much. A few words to the referee, and it seems like John Lundstrom's going to get an early booking here. As the referee just writes something in his notebook, brandishes the yellow card for John Lundstrom. Only 11 minutes into this one, and Lundstrom's already in the referee's book. Don't know if that's things that we love to see or that we maybe don't like to see. Came in a little bit heavy on the challenge, in all fairness, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's early stages yellow card worthy, but I'll let the referee do his thing. Kyle currently has the ball following the back of that free kick from Watford that sent it out. So they have a throw in on this near hand side. Kyle fires it in. Headed away by Watford. Forward trying to find some more attacking threats there for them. 12 minutes in. Currently no real chances made from either side. Iran Kunda tries an effort from range and off balance, and that's just going to go miles wide. Receives a few supportive handshakes from his Watford teammates. I'm not sure why. I would have got closer to the target if I was blindfolded and after having 5 curries. But there we are. Seems like the attacking threats from Watford aren't seeming to be the best at the moment, and any bit of encouragement that they can have seems to be working, or not working, but seems to be encouraged for them. Forwards, though, from the goal kick by Charlie Hughes, trying to find Geldhart. Deflects off Geldhart's back, and so Watford do have the possession once again. Currently playing passing football, Watford. And Iran Kunda, he charges forward, plays out wide, back in towards the box. Deflects off Giles, and Giles as well to recover. A few calls for handball from Watford players. Nothing given from the referee. No stop play rewarded. But Watford will try once again. Right hand side. Scooping it in. Low driven. Flick. A couple of back heel flicks there. One back heel flick to another back heel flick in front of the goal line. And that is just somehow blocked by Hull City. A bit of a lucky one as the ball somehow managed to find its way into a couple of yards shy of the goal line. And a couple of tricky back heel flicks, one after the other by Watford. And Hull City are maybe counting their lucky stars after that one. Gelhardt picks up a stray ball now from Watford. Tries the long effort. Tries to chip back So's come charging forwards. And Baxter sort of charges back in a bit of a frantic manner. And that one I don't think was ever planning on going in. But certainly Hull City do need to watch. They can't give Watford all of this space getting attacks working forwards. Yes, they haven't scored the goals this season that they possibly want to or need to. And yes, they maybe aren't looking as promising in front of goal as Watford teams in the past. But still, it is a team that know how to work the ball forward, know how to work the ball into the correct spaces. And if you allow them to do that too many times, enough of them shots will end up going in the back of the net. So certainly it's going to be a case for the defence not to be embarrassed in this one. Seems to be what I'm going to take from it so far. Coming up to 15 minutes in. Lundstrom now with the ball. Plays it forward towards Gelhardt. Bit of a heavy touch by Gelhardt, but it's okay. Amir Hadzemetrovic does well to recover that for Hull City. Over the top ball to find Ollie McBurney. Just lands right in front of him. That's going to bounce just beyond him and work for a Watford throw-in. McBurney with a man down him. Struggled to maybe get the control of a ball that was bouncing away from him. Oh, no Championship player has been involved in more goals than Hull City's Ollie McBurney this season. 3 goals, 3 assists. So that's just showing you how good the target man up top has been for Hull City so far this season. As Joseph just neatly works one out of play for a throw-in. He's not going to take it this time. He's instead going to allow Ryan Giles to take it over on that far hand touchline. I am liking, though, the chances when Joseph takes to take the quick throw-in. Ball deflected up. Joseph takes it down. And does well to work a corner for Hull City there. Take it down towards the byline and allowing it to deflect off the Watford player. Few Watford appeals to the referees, having none of it. As they're saying it wasn't a corner kick. Might be a day of Watford players complaining to the referee, it seems. Hopefully it's not going to boil down to that, though, in this one. Ryan Giles standing over the 3rd corner kick for Hull City in this one. Hand up. Referee just a few words to the men in the box. He seems a bit fed up already of the Watford players. He just has a word with Egan and a Watford player who seems to be like he's been told off by his mum, we'll say. But ball now coming in from Ryan Giles. Whipped in. Trying to find the head of Ollie McBurney, but it's going to be a free kick awarded. Presumably Egan a little bit too handsy with that Watford player that was getting cautioned a second ago. So Baxter will get the free kick from this one. All that for naught. Plays it quickly over to his side. Hull City applying the pressure down, though. Drama down on the right wing. He does go out of play. And Coyle now has the ball. Cross fielding. I'm not sure who's trying to send that to. Sends it into an absolute barren wasteland of nobody in a Hull City shirt. Which leads Joseph to make the tactical foul to stop any sort of counter-attack building up through that space there from Watford. They do send the ball forwards, though, from this free kick. Hull City trying to return the favour. Joseph, who is offside, can't do anything about it. And so Gelhardt's now chasing down on the ball. And that goes out of play from Watford, resulting in a Hull City throw-in. Couple of balls there in the past couple of minutes from Watford, trying to send them down the line, have not stayed in play. That could be something that Hull City try to look to exploit in the next couple of minutes. Drama takes one down nicely on the right-hand side, but his pass to try and find Ollie McBurney meets a Watford man. And then a couple of errant passes later, results in a Watford throw-in. So 20 minutes into this one, still 0-0. As it always is when we travel down to Vicarage Road, it's going to be a bit of a tough affair. We never seem to cakewalk our time against Watford. Certainly not in recent memory. A lot of 1-0 losses, 1-1 draws, 0-0 draws. And I believe Watford are unbeaten in the last 4 league appearances of Hull City versus Watford. So another foul there by Drama on Ngakia. Oh, sorry, Coyle actually. Oh, it might have been a double foul actually. Ngakia down by Coyle. I think Egan took someone down as well at the same time. So Watford do have a free kick just inside of the Hull City half on this near hand touch, near this near hand sideline. Panicking a bit for options. It's going to play it short. It's trying for the 1-2. Try and get past Lundstrom, Will Pollock. He does so. It works its way into Iran Kunda. Kunda going on a bit of a dribbling affair. Lays it over to the couple of Watford men on the right-hand side. One-on-one with Giles. And that deflects off Petrus. And goes out for the Hull City goal kick there. So certainly still seeing Hull City don't want to be letting this Watford side get forwards and get into advantageous spots. Because all it takes is one poor bit of defending or one little lapse of error, one miracle work even from Watford, and Hull City could be 1-0 down in this one. Ball forward though by Panda. Tries to find the head of Joseph, a little bit of header tennis once again. As Charlie Hughes sends it out of play. Throw in once again for Watford. Made quite a few throw-ins I think in this one. So Watford probably already reached into double figures. Ollie McBurney sliding into that one. Nice to send the ball out towards Cody Drama. Drama charging forwards down this right-hand side. Looks promising. Waiting up for some more Hull City players to get into attack. Coyle over towards Egan. Egan over towards Hughes inside of the Watford half. Out wide to find Giles. Giles tries to get one in going towards the box. Deflected off the Watford man. Geldhart takes it down. Struggles to get past the Watford man, who Petrus, who now has the ball. Geldhart slides into that one. And Watford have themselves a throw-in right down near the byline. Over on the far hand touchline. Petrus will now take this throw-in. Of course, Petrus, who seems like he's going to have a bit of a task today. Playing the right wing back, getting forwards, getting back to the side, Doing a bit of the hokey cokey is. His throw-in meets the head of Hughes. But now it's back in Watford's possession. Iran Kunda charging forwards now. Got a couple of Hull City shirts ahead of him. Egan has a nibble at his back heels to get the ball out. No foul, says the ref. But Hughes is pulled down and that will be a foul there. As Watford do stop the counter-attack working from Hull City. And it's going to be a second card of the game. It's going to be a yellow card. Brandisher towards Watford. Towards number 18, Semedo. As he picks up a yellow card for just pulling down Charlie Hughes there. So it seems this referee is probably going to be card happy in this one. We might see quite a few cards and maybe even a shock red one at some stage in this one. But we'll wait and see. And I think Sergei Kirovich has been offered a yellow card there on the sideline. He's all smiles about it. Part of the job, he'll probably say. But 3 yellow cards already brandished out in this one. Only 23 minutes into this. It's long ball forwards over the top, trying to look for Joseph. Joseph does well to maybe work it down. The Watford man just gets the wrong side of it. And Geldhart picks up nicely over towards Lundstrom. Coyle scoops it in to find Ollie McBurney. His head and he tipples over the Watford man that goes down to the deck. He's being a bit crybaby about it, as you probably would see other Championship players just go, all right, yeah, you've toppled over me, have a bit of a laugh about it. But these Watford players are determined to try and get a win here. Hull City putting the stop to that, hopefully, as they look for back-to-back wins. Baxter will take the goal kick here. He's going to take his time a little bit with it. Of course, 0-0. Watford would be happy with a draw today, and I mean, Hull City possibly would be. We'll see how the outcome of the game goes. Ball long from the goal kick. Headed forward by Mirza Mitrovic. Watford now in possession. Amir charges it down. Ollie McBurney. McBurney out towards Geldhart. Geldhart charging forwards. Plays it out towards Drama on the right wing. In the box. Ollie McBurney. Ollie McBurney! There's your first goal of the game from the man who is running the Championship at the moment, Ollie McBurney. He grabs his 4th goal for Hull City and his 7th goal contribution as Hull City go 1-0 ahead. 25 minutes into this one at Vicarage Road, and it could possibly be back-to-back wins for the Tigers. Fantastic stuff, that. Ollie McBurney, he's in your head. He's in your head. McBurney. Fantastic stuff, that, from a big Ollie McBurney, who is just in the right place at the right time as the ball's driven in through. Cody Drama out on the right wing just finds Ollie McBurney in that spot, just charging in from the penalty area, a penalty spot, sorry, and he's happy with that one. McBurney with his 4th goal. What's that, 4 out of the 15 that he's got to get this season. I have a feeling they might be on track for more than 15 goals this season. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's try and keep this game in front of us. As Hull City are currently 1-0 to the better of. Egan pulled down there by Semedo of Watford, who, let's not forget, he's already on a yellow. Not want to watch it, but tempers might fly for Watford, as they are maybe feeling the pressure trying to get the win here. And a lot of youth, it seems, on the field. Maybe not sure how to handle the pressure, and lashing out might be the course of action for them. Let me just check on... yeah, so Watford's average age on the field is 24.8 years old. Their youngest player, Iran Kunda, is 19. And they only have one person on the field who's over the age of 30. And that's Mendy. So tempers may fly in this one, certainly from a Watford point of view. But Hull City are doing everything right at the moment. We said try and score early in this one. Apply the pressure. And then as long as they can maybe keep the scoring going, of course you won't feel comfortable holding out a 1-0 lead for a considerable stretch of this game. But against the Watford side that are struggling to score at the moment, maybe possibly. Hull City do well there though to work the ball back towards Panda, as Watford maybe trying to exhaust all avenues to get the ball into the back of the Hull City net. Couple of minutes shy of half an hour mark at Vicarage Road. Hull City, as I say, currently leading 1-0. Positive stuff there from Ollie McBurney. Talked about yesterday, the talking point for me in my prediction video was, can Ollie McBurney stay hot? Well, seems that he is not just staying hot, he's staying like a blaze. He's staying like he is McBurney. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Possibly, I mean, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We are very early in the season. Things can change on a dime. But he could be on track for possibly his best season in the Championship. And that's saying something considering the fact of that season he had at Swansea. His couple of seasons he had at Sheffield United. But 7 goal involvements already in the Championship, and what, we're 7 games in? That's elite stuff. I mean, it'd be fun to look at the end of the season and see how many games Ollie McBurnie is the deciding factor on. Because we've already had a couple. You think the Oxford United game, his goal was the reason why we won that one right at the death of it? And at the moment, he's the man that's broke the scoring open in this one. As Hull City just worked the ball around their defensive lineup. Coyle going for a ball in towards the box, trying to find Ollie McBurnie. That's certainly got far too much on it. And I think it goes out of play before it takes a bounce. It's the Watford manager barking his orders in. Really desperate for a win here today. His job could be on the line, possibly is on the line. As Joseph charges forwards on to Baxter. Amir Zemetrovic takes that ball nicely away from the headed path of Semedo. Hughes plays it back towards Panda. And Panda just calling his players a bit closer in. Plays it over towards Charlie Hughes. Amir Zemetrovic forwards to find McBurnie. McBurnie tries and gets it out wide towards Giles. Doesn't quite work in that manner. And Giles just tackles down the Watford man getting forwards. Apologises for it, helps up the Watford man before he can actually make a bit of a kick and a fuss about it. Petrus that being. And he's brandished a yellow card. So 4 yellow cards already in this one. 3 the way of Hull City, only 2 of them, of course, on-field players, with that other one going towards Sergei Kirich. And then Semedo being the other man with the yellow card for Watford. So as I say, 4 yellow cards in half an hour. It's going to be one of the card days this referee's seeming to have. Hopefully that doesn't affect Hull City too much. Of course, holding the 1-0 lead does help that factor. But can they make it 2? Can they make it 3? Clean sheet, though, is possibly more important than anything, as Panda does well to get down and just save that scuffed effort from Semedo off the back of the free kick. Hull City really looking for a clean sheet here. I think that's maybe not as important as getting the draw or the win. Of course, if you draw, you are destined to get a clean sheet. Or not necessarily, but yeah, I know what I mean. In my head. A bit like McBurnie, because he's in your head. In your head. McBurnie. 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 Hey, hey. Lovely stuff. Coyle now just to take a throw in for Hull City. $15 minutes shy of the half-time whistle. Of course, at half-time we'll go through the scores elsewhere in the Championship and we'll have a little bit of a fun look at the table. Of course, as I say, never look at the table too seriously before Christmas. But surely we're here today. We'll send Hull City maybe even up into a playoff picture. But we'll wait and see on that front. So Watford playing a few dangerous passes to try and get the ball going forwards. Lundstrom does well to pick up on the errant pass there. Plays a 1-2 with Charlie Hughes. Over towards Amir Zemetrovic. Coyle back towards Egan. Egan over towards Hughes. And, Lundstrom. And Lundstrom over towards Hughes. Lundstrom just dropping back to make a bit of a back three, allowing the fullbacks to push up in possession. We've seen that at certain spells this season. And Baxter just picks up the ball inside of his own area. Plays out to his man just in front of him. And they're going to try and work a ball over the top, down the line, down the right-hand side. Panda's going to charge onto that one before anyone in either a Watford or Hull City shirt can trouble it with their feet. Pardon me. And Panda just dropping the ball at his feet. Ready to send that one long over the top. In the heading path of McBurnie. Joseph nods on for Drama. But Watford will send that one out of play before Drama can try and trouble them too much. Throw in now for Hull City on the far hand touchline. Giles back towards Hughes. Hughes over towards Egan. Egan to Kyle. Kyle looking to go down the line towards Drama. Drama tries a little flick on past the number 2 in Gakiev for Watford. And now Kyle will get a throw in from the back of it. Kyle to Zayametrovic. Over towards Egan. Back towards Panda. Hull City can play a little bit more relaxed football. Certainly to see out the half, maybe. Drama just pulled back there to stop him from getting the ball over the top from Panda. And so Pollock will send the throw in there from Watford. Very chaotic in their passing style, Watford are. For 1 second, it can look like it's going to work, and the next second, they could just look like they're trying to kick the ball with all things crossed. Ball into the box. Scooping effort from Drama. As that one just works its way over the crossbar. It's one of them ones where maybe didn't get the correct touch on it, but fortunate enough, it didn't fall in the back of Hull City's net and make it an own goal. But Watford do have themselves a corner kick here. Over on the far hand touchline. Referee once again stating the level of affairs within the box. And Watford ready to take this corner kick in. 35 minutes gone at Vicarage Road. Things are just going to hold up as the ref wants a word with Coyle and Pollock now. And now a word with Lundstrom and Keben, who is the man that Lundstrom is marking. Now Watford are ready to, now Watford are able to take the throw in at the corner kick, I should say. It's one of them. Corner kick is getting whipped in by Watford. In towards a troubling area. Panda punches away. Only out towards the D. As it's taken down by number 23 for Watford. Drama slides in to block him from taking any shot forwards. He dribbles away. Giles picks it up over on the left-hand side ahead of the Watford man. He's going to start charging down this left-hand side. Looking for a pass to make forwards. He goes sideways instead towards Geldhart. A little bit of a backwards effort. And so it meets the Watford man rather than getting in towards Geldhart. Maybe looking for a bit more of a forward passing style there from Giles. Watford trying to get the ball going forwards. Giles will instead steer that one out of play. And Watford will have themselves their 15th billionth throw-in of this one. And now Joseph charging forwards. Joseph going forwards. Still Joseph out towards McBurney. McBurney, edge of the D. Shoots! Oh, and that's hammered right off the post. McBurney inches away from making it 2 within the first half. A first half brace for him that would have been. Inches away, I say. From the edge of the D, powers it, shoots. And it pounds off the post. Joseph now shoots. Blocked there by Baxter. Offside was Joseph anyway. Well, that's as close as you like it from Ollie McBurney without it going in the back of the net. Gets the space edge of the area. Just takes the touch past the man. Shoots. And just pounds off the post. It may have got a little deflection off the Watford man that was marking him in front, but I don't think so. I think that was all McBurney. He had the power to do so. It was just a little bit wide to send it onto that post. Completely would have completely got past Baxter. He went the other way. He was fooled by it. And now Watford getting forwards. Cole does well to clear his lines. Only as far as Louser for Watford. He sends it back towards Kebben. Kebben and Louser play a 1-2. Over towards Pollock. Pollock over towards Kebben. Kebben forwards to Kayembe. Watford just getting a few passes going between their defensive lineup. Maybe try and build something here. Iran Kunda gone a bit deep actually for Watford. Unsure whether that's a style of play that they have been using too much this season. Try and get him going deep and maybe charge forwards, going a bit of a run through the midfield. That could be a factor that will be relying on this season. Of course, Iran Kunda, the 19-year-old from Australia. Formerly of Adelaide United and Bayern Munich second team. And currently in the first season of his time in the English game and the first season at Watford. Up the Tigers indeed, Glimpse. Up the Tigers indeed. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good Saturday. And hopefully the Ollie McBurney goal has made it even better. So Watford now just passing the ball once again between the defensive lineup. Still looking for their true chance of this one. They've had a couple of shots that have been wide of the mark, and Coyle takes down Iran Kunda. And that'll be a free kick there for Watford. No card brandished this time to a Hull City player. As Coyle just scoops his leg right in front of Iran Kunda. So Watford with the free kick here. As I say, they haven't had a true out-and-out chance yet, Watford. 40 minutes into this one. Ngaki and Louser standing over it. With the way Sergei plays, are any of our games capable of ending 1-0 to us? I mean, we'll see. Hull City are still searching for the second clean sheet of the season. Of course, the only one coming on opening day in that 0-0. Was that 0? Yes, the 0-0 opening day against Coventry. I think it was 0-0. My memory serves me correct. So yeah, still looking for that clean sheet since then. And hopefully, I mean, 1-0, maybe not, but if it could be 2-0, could be 3-0, I'd sign up for that any day of the week. Watford still trying though now towards the end of this first half. Getting a few passes going just outside of the Hull City penalty area. Hull City men holding everything off, trying their best to keep that clean sheet for the defence and for Ivo Panda most importantly. I mean, as Mitrovic sends it out towards Ollie McBurney. Down the line by Giles, looking for a Joseph up top, but instead makes its way to the Watford defensive lineup, who now have buckets of space ahead of them. And will use that space to work forwards with a bit of passing play. Can you turn your mic up a bit, please, bro? Yes. I mean, I think it should be full, but I can move it a little bit more in front of me, if that helps. I'm not too fussed about conceding because I know we're capable of scoring every game, but it's always nice to keep clean sheets. It certainly is. Certainly, it's sort of the thing that the keeper and the defensive lineup like to have, because they don't really contribute too much with the goals. Hopefully that's better. I mean, I can move it a bit closer to my mic, to my mouth. Let me know how that is for you, Johnny. So you got monetized. I've been monetized for a little bit, Glimpse, but thank you very much. Maybe a couple of years actually now, or a year or so. So, Panda now with the ball for Hull City. Can you describe the goal to me? I wasn't watching it. Well, funny enough, Drama, who's playing his first time out on the right wing in, I mean, God knows how long, He gets the ball down to him on that right-hand side. He just sends a low-driven ball into the box where who else but Ollie McBurney's in the right space. And he just powers it into the back of the net. Your simple, low-driven cross from a winger in towards Ollie McBurney into the back of the net. Nothing too spectacular, but it is McBurney's 7th goal involvement of the season so far. Puts him number 1 in the Championship. And it's 1-0 Hull City here, which is probably the most important factor. Ball out wide. Oh, that's a fantastic through ball towards Giles in towards Drammer. Oh, and it's saved by Baxter right in front of him. Oh, unfortunate that from Hull City. A fantastic through ball, though, to find Giles out on the left-hand side. And then Giles sends a nice ball in towards Drammer charging into the area inside of the 6-yard box. And Baxter makes a good effort to save that one. Being pretty much one-on-one closed down with by Drammer. And Baxter does well to keep the Watford side only 1-0 down at the moment. Thank you, Johnny. Thanks for letting me know it's all good. Hope you're having a lovely time in Bridlington. And I mean, Hull City are winning, so your time there is going to be even better, isn't it? That's if Hull City can keep this up. Coyle forwards to McBurney. McBurney looking to send it on towards Geltart. Or as his nickname he likes to give him, Little Big Calves. As we found out after the post-match interview last weekend. Iran Kunda in the box now of City. Gets it in. Ooh! And a block there by Hughes and Panda to stop Lausra scoring. Iran Kunda being a bit of a problem maker at the moment for City. As he sends one over towards Lausra, who sends it on target. He claims for handball. All it is deflected out for a corner kick. Lausra will now take it though for Watford. In the box. Panda jumps up, dives, saves it. Has it in his hands. And take a bit of time. Allowing everyone to get out of that one. Pollock and I think that might be Coyle down. Coyle's still down on all fours. Pollock's up to his feet. Hopefully Coyle's all good there. Of course, a couple of games back from his hamstring injury. Back to his feet. Running. Seems to be all good. Maybe just took a little bit of a brunt on the back or the arm or something. But he's back to his feet. He's running. And the ref's going to give a drop ball to Ivo Panda. As that probably is going to be the last thing of this half. The 1 minute of extra time has been, well, not played, but it has been gone on the clock. And Panda, with the ball in his hands, just going to put it at his feet. As the referee just has a word with the Watford man that's trying to man-mark him. Trying to take the... send the ball back in play. And yep, that is it. Half-time, 1-0 Hull City. And it's Ollie McBurney, the difference maker, once again for the Tigers. What are we all saying? Is McBurney in your head? He is in my head. He is in my head. McBurney. 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 A. Fantastic stuff. Watford haven't looked threatening in attack all season. Hopefully it remains that way in the second half. Certainly, they have, I think, the second least goals scored in the Championship. Only 5 goals scored so far this season. Hull City have, well, more than double that now with the McBurney strike in this first half. And their defence has looked good, but Hull City have managed to work themselves a goal. Of course, losing 1-0 on Monday. And Hull City will try and make it another loss for Watford. And back-to-back wins for Hull City with the second half performance on the way. Currently 9th in the table. It's always fun to look at the table, isn't it? But I'll get to that in a second. Man City 1, Burnley 1. Thoughts? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the newly promoted sides into the Premier League haven't looked too bad, to be fair. Unfortunately, Leeds have looked somewhat capable. They've grabbed a few results. On a roll now, lad. Come on, the Tigers. Up the Tigers, indeed. Certainly on a roll. As I say, we'll go through the Championship scores around the grounds now in match day 7 of the Sky Bet Championship. So, in the scores, yesterday it was West Brom 1, Leicester City 1. And then lunchtime kickoffs. Coventry 3, Birmingham City 0, Wrexham Derby 1, and Swansea Millwall 1-1. Wrexham Derby was 1-1 again. I think I just said 1. Man, 1-1, not 1. There wasn't just 1. Sheffield United, as it stand, have their first point of the season. They do, currently half-time. But we'll get into that in a second. Ipswich 2, Portsmouth 0. Jane Philogene grabbed the first one in that one. Charlton are beating Blackburn currently 1-0. Southampton Middlesbrough is 0-0 at half-time. Sheffield Wednesday are 1-0 up against QPR. Norwich City are winning 1-0 on the road at Stoke City. Preston Bristol is 0-0. Of course, Hull City are winning on the road at Watford. And Oxford Sheffield United is currently 0-0 half-time. So, how does the table look with that all? I mean, I'll have a quick look at the stats, actually. As Ollie McBurney is now joint 4th top scorer of the season with that strike there. He's in company with Jane and Philogene, who's also there. And 1 goal shy of the top, of course. There's 3 players, 2 Coventry players who actually got 5 goals already this season. Hadji Wright and Victor Torp. And Josh Sargent for Norwich is the other man with 5. McBurney also is joint first in the Championship with assists with 3. So is Ryan Giles, who's also having a very good start to his season. So fantastic stuff there. And stat-wise, I mean, when do we ever really see Hull City have players up in the top ends of the stats? Is it too early to sack the Watford manager? There certainly was some rumblings before the game. I was talking to a fellow Watford fan channel that asked me to do a little bit for him before the game. And he was talking about how it sounds like the Watford manager might be going if there was a disappointing performance today. And certainly it looks like he is facing that sort of whenever the cameras pan to him on the sidelines. And the Watford players are maybe playing with that incentive as well. So we'll wait and see. I mean, Watford turnover managers more often than Hull City do. And I mean, Hull City have become quite the turnover team. But I think there's already been a couple of managers sacked already this season. You look at Ruben Sayers, he's been sacked and they've rehired already. And I think there's been 1 or 2 others. And I mean, you look in the Premier League, Graham Potter's been sacked today. So certainly isn't out of the realm of possibilities. McBurney has the most goal contributions in the Championship. He certainly does. 7 goal contributions in 6.5 games at the moment is absolutely fantastic stuff from a free transfer. A free transfer. Well, I certainly think it's too early to sack him at half-time. I mean, half-time is certainly too early. It is. But maybe at full-time, we'll see. We'll see how Watford turn out with this one. Of course, they are currently 23rd in the table. And Hull City are currently 9th. Could get as high as, depending on how many goals they score, could get as high as 6th, depending on other results. That would be resulting if Hull City score a couple more. Charlton end up losing, and Preston, who are currently drawing, end up losing. But you're not looking for Hull City to progress too high at the moment because, A, it's very early in the season. We've seen it before this game. Hull City and Watford were separated by 3 points. We were to mid-table, they was in the relegation zone. So certainly don't look at the table too much in depth this early on in the season. But it is nice to see Hull City putting good performances back to back to back. As things stand, two wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, and a possible win coming today. Things are looking good for Hull City. Things are certainly looking good to start their season. They're not up at the realms of your Middlesbroughs and your Coventries at the moment, who haven't lost a game yet this season. But they aren't looking too bad. They aren't looking Hull City of last season. They aren't looking Hull City of old. This is a good-looking Hull City side under Sergei Kirich, which, let's not forget, couldn't sign a player. Could not sign a player this transfer window and can't again in January. But they're looking very good. They've got the quality in the squad. Possibly the most quality in the squad, bar maybe second half of the Ruben Sayers season, the 2023-24 season. Of course, that squad had a lot of talent in there that just fell shy of the mark. But I mean, you can make arguments that some of the players in this squad are even better than that. I mean, I'm not sure on the final numbers from Liam Delap, but Ollie McBurney, he stayed fit at the moment. I mean, touch wood, he stays fit for the entire season. We'll cross everything and hope that does. But he's already got 7 goal involvements. I don't know how many Liam Delap did, but it said it wasn't 7 in the opening 7, was it? The 3-0 defeat to Blackburn was purely down to the illness among the team as well. Yeah, that seems to be the case. I mean, they've really worked past that one and the 4-2 loss, which both of them were around that time that they had the illness within the camp. So that makes full contentions on that one. 2 games prior to the international break cost our goal difference, but still plenty of time to get it into the positives, certainly. I mean, we're only 1 negative at the moment, so another goal today, and we'll have a 0 goal difference. 12 goals scored, 12 goals conceded, which I mean would make us, if we score another one today, we would be the 2nd top scoring side in the Championship. That being 1 behind Bristol and considerable 6 behind Coventry. Of course, Coventry banging the goals in left, right, and centre. Well, it seems to be whenever Coventry win, they win, and whenever they draw, they draw. It's either a high-scoring win or a bit of a null-effort draw. And of course, Coventry have already played today, being one of them high-scoring wins, a 3-0 against Birmingham City. Let's have a look at some of the sides down towards the bottom. I mean, Sheffield United, who are maybe on track today to grab their first point of the season. It's mental how Coventry Hull have ended 0-0 considering the goals scored since, certainly. But I mean, first week of the season, you can't blame it too much. And at the time, we was happy with it, weren't we? I mean, we still are now. To go on the road to a side at Coventry that I've got a lot riding on this season, looking for playoffs, looking for maybe even playoff finals, automatics, something around that. Playoff football is what they're looking for this season. And to say that we went there opening game of the season with not a full squad. The squad was nowhere near as what it is now. Ollie McBurney wasn't available and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I think he came on for about 20 minutes or so, but he didn't start that game and stuff. Keep a clean sheet and a point there. It's impressive stuff, that. Keeping a clean sheet at the CBS's class certainly is. I mean, has anyone done it yet? Has anyone held them out for 0-0? Bar us. Just have a quick look. Matches. Leicester and us. We're the only team to do it at their stadium. And there was a 0-0 draw last weekend against Leicester on the road in Leicester. So only 2 sides to hold out. Coventry, not allowing them to score. And one of them's Leicester, just come down from the Premier League. And one of them's Hull City, just stayed up in the Championship by goal difference last season. So really tells you how things have shaped out for Hull City this season. And there's a lot of positives to look at. I mean, you got Sergei Kirovic you can point it to. You can point it to the players. You can point it to the behind the scenes. You can point it to Jared Dublin, or all these sorts of people behind the scenes. But absolutely fantastic stuff by Hull City so far. Go a quick look through the stats of the game as we are currently in half time. So shots even apiece, 6 each. 2 on target, even apiece. Possession-wise, it has been considerably in favour of Watford with 60% possession for them. with 191 passes, only 129 for Hull City. Pass accuracy 79% for Watford, 65% for Hull City. 5 fouls for Watford, 6 for Hull City. 1 yellow card for Watford, 2 for Hull City. Well, should be 3 for Hull City, as of course Sergei Kirich got a yellow card as well. No red cards either side, and only the 1 offside for Hull City. And 3 corners apiece. So not too bad there from Hull City on the stat point of view. Just 1 singular point and we would have been playing Wimbledon and Burton. Certainly would have been. And would we have the squad that we had now? Would we maybe had even Sergei Kirich? I doubt it. I doubt Sergei Kirich would have come for his first time in English football in League One. A manager of somewhat pedigree. Of course, managing most recently in the Turkish top flight. And would we have signed Oli McBurney? No. Would we have signed some of these loan players? No. Would we have got some of the more depthy players? No. Possibly not. Or maybe we could have done, and they would be in the starting players. You'd be looking at possibly having a... I don't even know what the midfield would be. The midfield would probably be shambles if he was in League One. So, it's just the tale of them fine margins. We wouldn't have kept Hughes, that's for sure. He certainly wouldn't have done. He'd have been on that first coach to Coventry. And I mean, I can't blame him going up there to play a football or go back down to play League One football where we signed him from. So yeah, it's some fine margins, but it's fantastic stuff from Hull City. From the final whistle of last season to now. It's a story and a half, isn't it? Say, not to get ahead of ourselves. Things are looking quite good at the moment in the Hull City world. Hey, I'm late. What did I miss? How's it looking, brother? I'm on vacation and can't wait to get the game, so I'm glad you're live. Well, it's looking good if you can tell by the numbers beneath my face. 1-0 Hull City, of course. Oli McBurney with the man to score for the Tigers. Ball driven in from Dram, who's out on the right wing. Low driven into the box. Meets the feet of McBurney, who just powers into the back of the net. And things are just about to get underway for the second half. Of course, 1-0 Hull City. As possibly could be the sacking game of the Watford manager. We'll wait and see on that one. Of course, still 45 minutes worth of football to be played. And need to keep up the pressure, need to keep up the effort. And maybe even score 1 or 2 more goals. We know how leaky the defence can be at times for Hull City. It has got better. Pardon me. And it has looked better over the past couple of games. We're slowly building back up to the defence that we know and loved from last season. And I say, a clean sheet today would be a really nice icing on the cake. A win and a clean sheet on the road. What more can you ask for? Watford do get us underway. And they play it back towards Nathan Baxter. Baxter sends one forwards over the head of Charlie Hughes. And Panda will just pick that one up quite nicely down near the byline. Ready to kickstart this one. No changes from what I can see from either side. Of course, there could possibly be a few tactical changes from Hull City's point of view. With the referee being quite card happy. Geldhart plays one out wide towards Kyle Joseph, charging onto it. Joseph looking to try and shape one into the box. Lays it off towards Giles. Giles sends it back towards Charlie Hughes. Hughes over towards Egan. Egan back towards Panda. Panda looks to send one forwards down the line, looking for Drama. Bounces a couple of times. And it meets Drama eventually. And he just takes a really scuff effort over his shoulder. And wasn't really sure what his intentions were with that one other than a really poor shot. Poorly defended that though by Watford. The defender, Keben, had the time, a couple of bounces ahead of him to maybe take it down and clear it or put a bit more of a commanding header into it. He instead heads it into the path of Drama, and if Drama was a bit more tuned onto it, would have been able to capitalise on that and take his true second shot of the game. Of course, his first one towards the end of that first half troubled Nathan Baxter, the former City man, in the Watford net and forced him to make a save. Talking about Baxter, he's just going to send one long. Meets the head of Amir Zajmetrovic towards Joseph. Joseph to Geldhart. Geldhart, edge of the area to McBurney. McBurney lays it off towards Drama. Drama in towards the box, takes a deflection. And I believe there's been a foul blown for a free kick inside of the box or an offside or something. I'm not even sure on what it was for, but I do know that Watford have themselves a free kick. Well, Hull City maybe should have had a corner. But anyway, Baxter sends it forwards down to this near-hand side. Charlie Hughes comes in, commands that one. Lundstrom just pulled down a little bit by Semedo. Play on though by Watford. So they send it out wide. Iran Kunda into the area. Iran Kunda takes a couple of steps over, shoots, and blocked by the defensive lineup from Hull City. Shoots once again from outside of the area by Watford, and that one straight into the chest of Ivor Panda. Second shot coming though from number 2 in Gakia. Seems to be him and Iran Kunda to be the men leading the attacking charge at the moment for Watford. Semedo has had his little bit of chances, but nothing really solidified down from Watford. Although this Iran Kunda kid seems like a very, very promising young player. Say only 19 years old in his first season of English football. Formerly of Adelaide United over in Australia and Bayern Munich second team. Certainly seems like a very promising young player. Hopefully we can win this game. Hopefully we can do. Geldhart lays it over towards Lundstrom. Giles whips one into the box. McBurney just pulled down a little bit by a Watford man. Not too much to get the referee's attention. Amir Zajmetrovic picks up the ball after Coyle gets into a bit of a 50-50 challenge, and the referee blows for a foul Watford's way, so they get the free kick. Coyle's a bit baffled by this one. Coyle just walks away in disbelief as Watford pick themselves up a free kick here. Get the replay of it. A little bit of a 50-50 affair. Yeah, to be fair, Coyle did come through the back of him. I'm not sure why Coyle's in so much disbelief. Watford trying to get a bit forwards now, though. Charging with this one. Shirt pulling by Drama just to negate anything going forward. It's a bit more of a tactical foul, that one. And it'll be his first yellow card of the game, Drama's. And making that the fourth yellow card I make it for Hull City today. As Drama's just pulled on the shirt of Ngakia. And he throws a bit of a tantrum in a result of it. As I say, more of a tactical foul than anything from Drama. Louser, though, the captain for Watford, the number 10, will take this free kick. Just a bit inside of the Hull City half. Over towards that far-hand touchline. Louser whips it in. Meets the head of a Watford man. But that one's going to go miles wide. And Panda will have no problem leaving that one to go out for a goal kick. I believe it was Semedo who got the head on it from Watford. And it seems like Watford may be looking to make a few changes in a couple of minutes. Sheffield United have been absolutely battered by Oxford stat-wise. Still 0-0. I'm hoping Oxford win. We got Sheffield United next weekend. We certainly do. Preston midweek and Oxford United... Sheffield United next weekend at the MKM Stadium. 2 back-to-back home games for the Tigers. But currently got the effort ahead of us. 1-0 lead currently against Watford down at Vicarage Road. A side that we haven't had the best of results against them recently. Watford are unbeaten in the last 4 meetings in the league between both sides. And they've been quite sort of nil affairs, really. Either 0-0 draws, 1-1 draws, or 1-0 Watford wins. So maybe it is a good chance to get this one a couple of goals and try and break that bad habit. Watford, though, now trying a little bit more. A few more balls into the box by Watford. Petrus gets in towards the head of Iran Kundu, just sends his header far wide. Which seems to be the state of play by Watford. They can get the balls into the right places, but as soon as it comes the chance to shoot, it's going to go wide, and it's going to go very wide. That seems to be how Watford is going at the moment. When was last time he won at Vicarage Road? I will just have a quick look at that as the ball bounds away. Semedo takes down Charlie Hughes. Referee waves no foul. Good job, Panda came charging out to send that one clear for Hull City. Lundstrom picks up the ball now. Down this right-hand side, he's just pushed off the ball by Petrus. And Geltart comes in to clean up the mess. Petrus with a bit of a aggressive push through the back of Lundstrom. So just have a quick look at this. Last time we won at Vicarage Road would have been back in December of 2012. 8th of December 2012. Goal scorers for both sides. David Myler and Robbie Brady scored for Hull City in a 2-1 win. And Troy Deeney scored a 90th minute consolation goal for Watford. So truly rolling back the years. So what's that? 13 years ago? Since we last won at Vicarage Road. To not get ahead of ourselves here, but things are looking positive. 53 minutes gone. Amir Mitrovic picks up the ball in the midfield. Plays it off to McBurney. McBurney can't get a strong pass going. And it's deflected away. Watford charging down the left-hand side. Playing a few triangle passes now. As Hull City do well to work themselves back into a bit more of a condensed lineup. Playing maybe to hold out for the 1-0 and then go and take the chance to get the 2-0. That's what Hull City look to be doing at the moment. Looks a little bit like how they were playing after the second goal went in against Southampton this past weekend. Of course, we know how that one ended. 3-1 for the Tigers. Could have been a 3-0 win. But unfortunate last-minute goal, consolation goal, went in. Hopefully that doesn't happen here, because of course if one goal goes in, it's no longer 3 points, it's 1 point, shared apiece. So Hull City do need that goal cushion. Shot from Watford goes high up in the air after a deflection of Hazar Mitrovic, and it's collected nicely by Panda. Referee really determined to take the no goalkeeper holding the ball for too long rule into effect. Every time Panda has the ball in his hands, the referee tries and waves him on almost instantaneously. So Kyle's now got a throw in over on the far hand touchline. Just a couple of paces up from the Hull City technical area. Drama with it. Tries and plays a bit of a snapping pass up the line. Watford breaking away with it with Iran Kunda. He just gets away from him and plays it down towards Panda. Panda, Hughes, Amir Mitrovic over towards Lundstrom. Kyle, of course, on that right-hand side. Plays it upfield to find McBurney, who's in a bit more of a deeper role. McBurney plays a bit of a 1-2 with a Watford man after it deflects off him. And Hughes charging forwards. Plays out to the left-hand side for Giles. Into the box. Joseph. Oh! Offside, so it didn't matter too much. But Joseph just struggled to get the ball under control. And a shot fired away. He would have been offside, or Giles would have been offside. So there was an offside claim in there. So if Joseph did steer it to the back of the net, it wouldn't have counted. And there is a free kick here for Watford. I think they are complaining as they wanted to play on. The referee says, my fault, my fault. He'd already blown his whistle. But Watford do have a free kick to themselves. as they're going to play it across towards that far hand line. Going down that left-hand side for Watford. Into the box. Header by Semedo. And once again, as all shots are for Watford, off target. When are you guys going to get Adrian sacked? We're not going to get Adrian sacked. We can't sack an owner. No, Adrian's staying firmly at the moment. All things are looking good. Financially, behind the scenes and all that sort of stuff on the field products. I wouldn't change anything at the moment. I mean, we'll see when the next financial documents come out if things have turned around and are actually for the better following the scare of the summer. But things are looking positive in Hull City land. A win today would further cement that, making that back-to-back wins. First time this season that the Tigers would have done that. Of course, brilliant pre-season saw a couple of back-to-back wins. So Watford charging forwards a little bit. McBurney picks the ball up though. We see this a little bit often. McBurney playing that bit of a deeper role when Hull City are trying to hold on and then go on the breakaway whenever they have the chance. Saw it a couple of times last Saturday against Southampton. Seeing it again today. Petrus drives the ball into the box for Watford. Blocked away by Charlie Hughes. But Watford do pick it up again. Hull City holding off a little bit, allowing Watford to take that possession if they want it. And more looking to block their avenues of getting forwards. Sends it down the line to find Petrus once again. Louser. Infield. Watford doing a little bit of attacking build-up play. Shoots! And once again, it's wide of the mark, but it troubled Panda maybe a little bit. Iran Kunda shoots from range. He's off target, but Panda's forced to make a dive to block that near hand post for him anyway. So it's a goal kick. Another shot wide from Watford. But possibly the most Panda's been troubled all game. And that being a diving effort of a ball that's off target. So ball forwards. Nodded on by Joseph. McBurney charging it down. Watford pick it up. Going down the line. Petrus plays a quick 1-2. Over the top towards Semedo. Semedo in a one-on-one battle with John Egan. Holds it up. Plays it off. Towards Louser. Oh dear. As I said all game, you give them the chances and they will eventually find one in the back of the net. Louser equalises with half an hour to play. It's 1-1 and that is unfortunate. Over the top, Semedo holds it up. Just finds Louser in a bunch of space. No one was watching him breaking into the area. Everyone was focused too much on the action with what was happening with the ball. And Watford have a man in buckets of space. It's the mistakes that we've seen a couple of times this season. Not watching the opposition players that have the space. And it costs us once again. No clean sheet for the Tigers. The hunt still remains. And now they have the task of trying to get back into winning ways with this one. 1-1. As Watford are looking determined to grab the result in this one. They get things going quite quickly underway here. Forwards played by Hull City. Geltart out wide towards Giles. Giles. Ball forwards. Just behind Drama and McBurney. McBurney races this one down to try and keep it in. And it's out of play. So it's a throw in now for Watford on the far hand touchline. Greetings from Germany. Come on, Tigers. Hello there to Germany. Up the Tigers indeed. It's going to be a change now for Watford. Number 2 off. That being Ngakia. He's had a bit of trouble getting forwards. And he's been replaced by number 26, Wiley. their substitution for Watford. Presumably that was one that was lined up before the goal for them. Ball down the line, headed by Drama. Pushed over, Semedo does to Kyle. And so Kyle wins himself a free kick. Amir Hazaimetrovic will take it. 62 minutes played. 28 remain to try and grab the goal to send us back in front here. Amir sends it over towards Egan. Nodded out of play by Watford. So Giles will have the throw in now. Giles with Joseph down the line. Not a lot of players in the new blue third shirt for Hull City in space. Now a bit of movement happening, and Lundstrom chests it back down towards Giles. Watford man goes down very easily, and Giles is almost asking, what? How was that given as a foul? My sentiments exactly. Watford's manager barking his orders. As Nathan Baxter looks ready to take this free kick for Watford. Over the top, going forwards. Met by the foot of Charlie Hughes. Lundstrom does well to try and muscle it to keep it going towards Geltart. Geltart takes it past one. Looks for an over-the-top ball to try and find Coney Drama. Drama sends it first time back into the box. And it's far too beyond the reach of Ollie McBurney, who slides to try and take the ball back in play. It looked like it should have deflected off the Watford man and gone out for a corner kick for Hull City. But instead, the referee has signalled for a goal kick. McBurney trying to explain the differences in this one, as Louser comes over and sticks his nose into things. I mean, that definitely appears like it should have been a corner kick, because McBurney just gets round the man and pushes the ball into the Watford player. So you win some, you lose some there on that one. But Baxter will have the chance to take the goal kick now for Watford. Joseph and McBurney up there ready to apply the pressure once the ball does get put back into play. Just taking their time here, Watford. Sheffield United have their first goal. Oh, not their first goal, but are currently their first goal in this one. 1-0 up, trying to grab their first point. Not even win, but just point. They've lost every game so far this season. 0 for 6. If they lost today, they'd be pulling out the James Bond 007. No wins, no draws, and 7 losses. Offside Watford call by Semedo. So that'll give Hull City a chance to get the ball back in their possession and things going forwards. 25 minutes to play here. Hull City haven't made a change yet, so you could possibly be looking towards the bench for maybe a substitution to take place. Kyle sends one forward to try and find Ollie McBurney. He nods to try and find the path of Lundstrom or Joseph, just a little bit behind them. Drama struggles to get the ball back in Hull City's clear out-and-out possession. And McBurney charges forwards down onto Nathan Baxter. Baxter just scoops it past him and plays one out for Watford to get things going forwards with. Kyle does pick up the stray pass, though, by Watford. Down the line. Drama still with it. Drama still down the line. Drama looking to send one into the box, in towards Joseph. He lets it run through for Lundstrom. And his shot's over the crossbar. That's well over. A powering effort that was just kept on rising there from John Lundstrom. Nicely left by Kyle Joseph. And just unfortunate the shot by Lundstrom is one of them ones where it just kept on rising. A little pea fizzer. Watford working the ball now. Watford down the left-hand side, looking to try and get one back into the box. In the box it is, headed away by Charlie Hughes. Geltart looking to try and pick up the ball here. Watford man went down far too easily. Referee says nothing about it, so Geltart still has the ball. Working now into the Watford half on this near-hand side. Just holds it up, waiting for a couple of Hull City players to get into support. Tries and takes it past one of the two men in front of him, Geltart. He's tackled. And so Watford now have the possession inside of the Hull City half. Seems like it could be anyone's affair here. 23 minutes to play. 1-1. Opening goal from Molly McBurney in the 25th minute. Cancelled out at the moment by Louser in the past couple of 5 or 10 minutes or so from Watford. As things are just looking a bit shaky for Hull City. Trying to get things going forwards. Drama and Amir. And now Coyle joining the effort of getting the ball cleared from the defensive line. Sends out, so it will be another Watford throw-in. Haven't had as many of them in the second half. As Watford playing a few passes on the far-hand touchline. Trying to get things shaping around some of the Hull City players. Joseph does well to pick the ball back into Hull City's possession. And Hughes sends well back towards Panda. Over the top, looking for McBurney. Headed by Watford instead. Try and find Drama. Doesn't quite do so. And Amir into the path of Joseph. Joseph down to the decks. But Ollie McBurney does end up away with it in the end. He's then tackled. There's been no real clear deciding factor here from either side within the past couple of minutes. Charlie Hughes now forwards for Hull City inside of the Watford area. Lays it off towards Drama. Drama towards McBurney. To Joseph. Towards Geldhart. Geldhart just a little touch. Lays it back towards Joseph. And towards Hughes into the box. Ooh! And that wasn't a million miles away from a low-driven shot at a very tight angle from Charlie Hughes. He's found himself some space on the right-hand side. Sort of where Drama's been playing the entire game. And it's a very low-driven, powerful shot that just curves wide of the left-hand post. And that one is another one that just goes that little bit the wrong way for Hull City. McBurney had one in the first half, a powerful shot powering off the post. And there we go with Hughes. That one just curling away from the left-hand post. And that one could have easily made it 2-1. Hughes does well to get forwards. Now it's Watford's chance. Ball into the box by Petrus. Cleared by Egan. Just shouting a few orders. Wasn't happy with how easy the ball once again got into the area. It's a big thing from Hull City, what we've seen this season. They're giving the opposition too many chances to get in the right spaces. I think that's the problem with the defence at the moment. It's not necessarily doing the last-ditch tackles, doing the blocking and all that sort of stuff. They are doing that. It's more allowing the ball to get into the places where it shouldn't be allowed to get into. Watford now whipping a corner in the area. Taking a deflection. Oh! And that one could have easily gone in the back of Hull City's net. It's cleared away eventually by Hull City. But if it was one of them ones where it bobbles around in the area too long, Watford had a few touches on it, maybe got a few blocks. But Hull City are fortunate that one didn't go back into the back of the net and they were 2-1 down. Couple of changes on the sidelines ready for Hull City. I can't tell from distant here who they are. One tall, one not quite so tall. Presumably the not so tall is going to be Regan Slater, but we'll wait and see on that one. Geldhart getting forwards with the ball, blocked. Watford showing how strong they have been defensively this season in these remaining 20 minutes. Forward by Louser. Onwards for Watford. Into the box. Blocked and off the line. What a block off the line that was there from Charlie Hughes. That's why he's the key man for Hull City, especially in the defensive setup. What a block off the line. Drama just tips it on, so Watford have a shot blocked by Panda, and then the resulting tapped effort from Watford was saved off the line by Charlie Hughes. A matchup of the keeper and the star centre-back to stop Watford going 2-1 up, and Panda's down. Hopefully this isn't an injury here for Panda. Looked like he came off a little bit of a grimace with the block that he served just before Hughes' one off the line. Could have been something to do with his knee or twisting back to try and help save the second effort. It's going to be a bit of a treatment as the Substitutes are just getting ready on the sidelines. It looks like it's going to be Regan Slater, as I said, and Darko Gyabi. Or Darko Gyabi. I'm not 100% sure on which one it is. Hull City will take the chance for Panda getting this medical help to have a bit of a water break. Of course, it does seem to be quite sunny down there. A bit gloomy up here. It might have been a bit of a bashed nose. He looks like he's got a bit of a pad up his nose now, Panda. So possibly a bloody nose was what he got from that one. Hull needs a new keeper, though. I don't think we need a new keeper. City aren't looking good this half. Certainly not. It seems like Watford are wanting a little bit more. How likely Watford to score on a 900 cash out or ride for 2k? I don't want to put anything too much on betting odds. I don't want to be the man that tells you to keep it or lose it. But, yeah. Geltart off. Amir Hazemitrovic off. Darko Gyabi and also Regan Slater on for Hull City. That's the changes. So Darko and Slater on into the midfield, presumably. And then Geltart and Zayametrovic are off, as Panda just receives that little bit of treatment there on his nose. So, yeah, I don't want to be the man that sells you either way. Toonami. But, yeah, it feels like there's certainly another goal in this game. I'm not sure who for. We'll see how these substitutes impact with Slater and Darko. I was impressed with how Darko played last week when coming on to replace Mohamed Baloumi. And Regan Slater has had some good appearances off the bench for Hull City so far this season. The ref's going to have another word with a couple of players defending this free kick. With Joseph and Alien of Watford. It's going to be a throw-in actually, but I think it's going to be a long-range throw-in, so it's almost like a free kick. Throw-in fired into the box, tipped on a couple of times, headed by Charlie Hughes and fired away. Not too far, Lauser picks it up. Darko Gyabi in a one-on-one with him. He's going to play it back though towards Petrus. Petrus blocked by Darko Gyabi. That's nicely done there by the substitute. He's just down the decks for too long and McBurney tries and plays one out. It's deflected off Darko Gyabi. Watford then pick up the stray ball, play one into the box, and Lundstrom plays it out there for a Watford corner kick. Certainly the momentum is swaying with Watford at the moment as they're going to make another change. As Kayembe is going to come off for Watford. And I believe coming on for them is Moussa Sissoko. Of course, we've seen Moussa Sissoko a couple of times in the past couple of years. A couple of pre-seasons ago when he was at Nantes. I believe it was Nantes. Who was that? Certainly at one of the sides that came to the MKM Stadium for pre-season. Or was it Fiorentina? One of the two, I think. But anyway, Watford's corner kick doesn't do too much damage inside of the Hull City area. Fired back in, though, by Watford. And an all-ditch effort to block it. And then Panda does end up collecting the ball. It's offside anyway. So Panda with the one blocked nostril. Due to presumably getting a bit of blood produced from it. It does seem like he's got a little bit of a patch on his top. So I think all things are good there with Ivor Panda. As he's now going to try and send this one long. 15 minutes remaining for either side to look for a winner. Hopefully it is Hull City. I did predict a 2-1 win yesterday. I did predict McBurney to grab the first one. And then I predicted Ndala to grab the second one. He's not involved in the team sheet today. So hopefully it's someone else grabbing the winning goal for Hull City. Kyle tries and sends one forwards. Blocked off Moussa Sissoko. Drama then heads it trying back in towards Hull City's attacking favour. Darko Gyabi just fouls Iran Kunda. And a free kick there for Watford. Yeah, no Ndala involved in the squad today. Presumably either a precautionary matter or something like that. Darko Gyabi out wide towards Drama. We'll find out more after the game. In the box. Low driven. Out of play there by Watford. Could have been a little bit similar to how Hull City got the first one. With a low driven ball into the box by Drama. This time it looked to try and find the meat of Kyle Joseph. A little bit too beyond him. But it's okay because Watford do send out of play. And Giles will have the chance to fire in a corner kick here. So corner coming in now from Ryan Giles. Giles whips it in. Punched away by Nathan Baxter. Ollie McBurney looks to try and take it down. Headed away by Watford. Iran Kunda in a bit of a muscle man race with Regan Slater. McBurney lays it off to Joseph. Joseph to Darko Gyabi. Gyabi charging forward. Still Darko. Just gets held up. And Watford now have the chance to get forwards. Bit of a ditched effort there from Charlie Hughes. Still Watford. Lauser once again in space. Shoots. And that's nicely blocked there by Louis Coyle. To block it to go out for a corner kick. But once again you're asking, how is Lauser being allowed into so much space? 13 minutes remain, nearly 12 minutes remain. And say Watford have all the momentum at the moment. Corner kick, whipped into the box. Headed, oh dear. Semedo fires it into the back of the net. And that's 2-1 Watford. Corner whipped in. He's pretty much the only man that went up for it. He rose like Jesus on a Sunday. And just fires it into the back of Hull City's net. A glancing header blow. And that's a glancing blow to Hull City in a game where they led for a majority of it. And they now currently sit 2-1 down with 12 minutes to play. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let me change this up. Really hoping for something special here from Hull City. Off on the beach for a walk. We'll watch highlights later. Love the suspense, lol. Come on, you will. Catch you next time, brother. Thank you very much for joining in, Johnny. Certainly see you next time. And hopefully, whilst you're down on the beach, you can send us a little prayer for Hull City to maybe grab a goal. Or dare I say 2 in this one. As it's currently 2-1 Watford. In a game, as I say, Hull City were leading. Hull City looked very strong in that first half. But all that work and effort's just been undone. Second half. And it's both times because free kick there for Hull City right off the back of the kickoff. Was more wondering what was happening. But Giles will take the free kick just inside of Watford's half. Yeah, both times. A man just gets free in loads of space. There's no one there to mark him, block him, or anything. And that's the problem that we've seen, not only in this game, but in time and time again for City this season. Whenever there is a goal, it's presumably through someone having far too much space. Charlie Hughes out wide towards Joseph. Blocked out for a throw-in for Ryan Giles. Giles looking to try and send it towards Joseph maybe. Or Darko Gyabi. Goes to Joseph. Joseph plays it towards Slater. Slater plays it back now towards Ivor Panda. A bit of a racy one. Panda's having to slide into that one. Send it forwards. And that's going to pounce out of play. It's going to be a throw-in now for Watford. And they're going to take their time. 10 minutes to play. Looking for their second win of the season. And possibly save their manager's neck. So Watford taking their time with this one. He's just standing there with the ball. He's not even thinking about trying to throw it in. There's Watford player down with cramp. Gets the side eyes from that one. I think it's Semedo. Down on the decks. And Watford looking ready to make a couple of changes to try and sure out this one, presumably. Typical City indeed. It's Watford player down the decks. Going to receive some treatment. As 9 minutes of regular time remain in this one. And can Hull City find a leveller? No matter what, it's going to be points lost unless they can work a miracle in these last couple of minutes. Because they look set to have, not set to have the 3 points, but they looked on the way. Led for the entire first half and a good start of the second half. As it's going to be a triple change for Watford and a double change for City. As it's going to be David Akintola coming on for the Tigers, as well as Casey Palmer. And we'll see who they come on for in a second. Pleased to note that Iran Kunda and also Semedo, I think, have both been taken off by Watford, as they're probably going to go very defensive heavy. As Hull City look to make a batch of changes as well in a second. Presumably, the next player on after both Akintola and Casey Palmer would be maybe Liam Miller, if you try and actually get him into this one. Of course, it's all what the game depends on, what the game needs. Put the game first before giving Miller minutes, but you'd still like to see Miller have minutes. So, coming off for the Tigers, it's Cody Drammer. He's going to be replaced by David Akintola, presumably going out onto that right wing. So the Drammer right wing experiment ends. Didn't look too bad, to be fair. Of course, assisted the 1 goal so far for Hull City. And Casey Palmer's going to come on for John Lundstrom. So, presumably, Slater's going to drop a little bit more deep and allow Palmer to get forwards a bit more. But of course, things will look a little bit more attacking for Hull City, no matter what. 7 minutes remain of regular time. Very disappointing second half indeed, Glimpse. That explains it all. As we'll get back underway with Watford on this near-hand side. It's fired from the throw-in. Straight back out of play, and Giles will take it. Fires it back towards John Egan. Egan over towards Kyle. Kyle back towards Egan. Egan to Panda. And Panda goes forwards, looking for Ollie McBurney. He chests it down towards Casey Palmer. Palmer does well to try and recover that one. Eventually gets out towards David Akintola. Akintola to Palmer. Palmer's pass to Regan Slater is a little bit wide of the mark. And that goes out of play for another Watford throw-in. Certainly a tale of two halves, this one. Not a fully stark contrast, but certainly a disappointing second half nonetheless. In what would be points dropped. But still time to play. City still have a fight in them. Over towards Hughes. Hughes trying to get forwards now. Instead plays it over towards Egan. Egan looking for an avenue forwards. And he's going to play it towards Hughes. Really need to start getting the ball forwards soon. Darko Gyabi. Gyabi out towards Palmer. Palmer to Gyabi. Towards Hughes. Towards Kyle. Kyle forwards in towards Joseph. Just bounces off Joseph and gets away from him far too much. That ball there, clearance from Watford. Goes out of play. Throw in finds David Akintola. Akintola trying to go down the line, trying to get it backwards. Instead, this one goes out of play. And so Watford will take the time once again with a throw in here. And it might be Enis Destan to make the final change for Hull City. They won't risk Liam Miller in this one. As I think Enis Destan will probably come on to either replace McBurney or Joseph. Would be my guess. or even possibly a push Egan, but I doubt it. I think it'll be Destan to replace... Oh, apologies, I've just knocked the mic. It'd be Destan to replace one of the two attackers, either Joseph or McBurney. Giles to take a throw in, though, before that change does become official. To McBurney. McBurney muscles it out wide towards Coyle. Coyle, space ahead of him, plays the ball down the line to David Akintola. Akintola chests it down, plays infield, try and find Palmer. Doesn't find Palmer, instead finds a player in the Watford colours. Palmer takes him down. It's going to be a free kick there for Watford. It'll give a chance, though, for Hull City to make the change. It's Joseph off for Enis Destan. Destan comes on to be the final change for Hull City this afternoon. Hopefully coming on to be that bright spark. And, I mean, it'd be a brilliant time for Enis Destan to grab his first goal for Hull City. 2-1 currently Watford. About 2.5 minutes of regular time to play. There'll certainly be a couple of minutes of extra time. Baxter fires his free kick forwards. Headed on by Watford, cleared by Egan. Couple of upwards headers by either side. Destan trying to play it forwards for McBurney. Out of play. Palmer will run over to the ball, plays it to Coyle, who just throws it in towards Egan. Egan getting forwards to Hughes. Really need to start looking to get things forwards now. Hughes tries a long ball over towards Akintola, who has to nod it back into the path of Coyle. Coyle infield towards Slater. Slater just holds off the Watford man who's trying to come through his back. Plays it towards Egan. John Egan over towards Charlie Hughes. Hughes getting forwards, has a bit of space ahead of him, has to turn around back as he has two players charge him down. Darko Gyabi looking for Coyle out on the right. He says that's to play to Egan, and then he plays it over towards Charlie Hughes. Hughes back to Darko. Darko upfield to find Enis Destan. Destan with the man behind him. Ball eventually works his way back towards Regan Slater. Slater towards Palmer on his left-hand side. He has Giles to the left. He's going to use him. Giles whips one into the box. Deep. Finds the head of Enis Destan. And he just nods it straight into the hands of Nathan Baxter. Dear oh dear. 1 minute of regular time to play. Hull City, have everything to play for. Giles nods it forwards. Palmer down towards McBurney. McBurney lays off Darko Gyabi. Out towards Coyle. Coyle charging forwards. Out towards Akintola. Akintola, very, very heavy cross into the box. Doesn't make it into the box at all. It just makes it straight out for a goal kick. And those are the things you don't want to be giving away, because that gives the chance for Watford players to hold things out. Judging by the signals from their back line, it's going to be a 5 at the back for them. As it's going to be 7 minutes added on. 7 minutes is what Hull City have to play for in this one. 2-1 down at the moment. They were leading 1-0. They have 7 minutes to turn things around. Grab one is all we ask. Walk away with a point. If miracles can happen, we'll talk about the other option once that comes into play. But 1 goal is all we ask for at the moment. Akintola just sends the ball out of play, so it's going to be a Watford throw-in. You don't want to waste away these last 7 minutes by giving away possession to the opposition, where they're going to watch the clock wind down by 30 seconds at least every time. Pollock going to take the throw in now for Watford. High looping one, met by Darko Gyabi. Return back towards him. Slater out towards Hughes. Hughes sends it, I thought he was going to send out wide towards Giles. Instead plays it towards Darko Gyabi. He's then tackled. Louser plays it forwards. The Watford man just pulled down there by Coyle. Coyle, who hasn't got a yellow card yet, will probably brandish one there. He is. Tactical foul, that being to avoid Watford breaking through and grabbing their third, which pretty much all put the game to bed with 6 minutes of the extra 7 to play so far. But Hull City have a job to get back and defend this free kick at the moment, just outside of the Hull City penalty area over on the far hand side. Hull City have dug themselves into a hole. Can they dig themselves back out of it? That's the question here. Louis Kerr, the latest man to be in the referee's book. From what I make it, that's 5 yellow cards for Hull City. Presumably, that's enough for a fine. Of course, 4 on-field yellow cards and 1 towards Sergei Kirovich. Lauser ready to take the free kick. He's going to take his time. Whips it in. Oh, off the crossbar! Off the crossbar by Watford. A pairing header pounds off the crossbar. Almost lifted the goal up out of its slots. Watford still with possession here. Getting forwards. Number 9 for Watford in the area. Just shielded off, I should say, by John Egan. And Panda will take the goal kick. Whipped into the box, headed and pounded off the crossbar. There by Watford. Could have very easily had their third of the game. Third of the second half. And really turned things upside down. But ball forwards though for City. Akintola and Destin play 1-2. Back in! David Akintola forces Nathan Baxter into a jumping save to block his line there. Good work there from David Akintola to get a ball going on target and force Baxter into making a save and resulting in grabbing Hull City a corner kick here. Feels eerily similar to the game a couple of weeks ago against Swansea. John Egan grabbed the last minute equaliser in that one. Can he or someone else do the same here? Ball whipped in by Giles. Pinged around a little bit by Hull City. Watford do end up with the ball getting clear. That is not a foul. I'm very sorry, but that is not a foul. He came through and picked up the ball. A yellow card brandished for that as well. So I maybe didn't see something. But David Akintola picks up a yellow card. We'll watch the replay. Oh, he did. I didn't see David Akintola, to be fair. I more saw Giles coming and picking up the ball. Akintola very fairly got a yellow card with that one. Cleaned out the feet of the man getting forwards for Watford. Who, as a result, is going to be down on the decks, presumably for the next 7 minutes to see out the rest of the game and stop Hull City from having any chance of sniffing back into this one. Well, I've got to say this has been the most exciting game Hull City versus Watford in quite a stretch of time. So it's usually 0-0, 1-0, 1-1 at a push. We've already smashed that 2-1 at the moment and a little bit of fight going into it from either side. Presumably off the backs of Watford from minute 1 throwing themselves round like kids throwing their toys out of the pram to try and get the win here after having a very poor start to the season. Coyle throws one in towards Panda. Panda will take this one long. Over the top of everyone, finding Ennis Dessen, who flicks it on towards Ollie McBurney. McBurney is going to have a hard time trying to get past this 5 back at the moment for Watford. Sends it out wide for Giles. Tries and pings a cross in. Blocked by Petrus and goes out for a Hull City corner kick. 2 minutes scheduled of the additional time here to play. Another corner kick for City. Can they work it onto one of the tall men? They've got McBurney. They've got Darko Gyabi. They've got tall men in the box. Whipped in by Giles. Doesn't meet a Hull City head. It's instead out. Meets Slater, who plays it over towards Charlie Hughes. Hughes tries to send it back in towards the box. Oh! And Darko Gyabi very nearly had a goal there. And a whistle's been blown for something. Was it offside? Was it a foul? Who knows? It must have been offside. As Darko Gyabi leaps, gets a header and forces Nathan Baxter to make a save off the line. Good ball whipped in though by Charlie Hughes. And I think Darko Gyabi may have just been offside. 1 minute to play. We need City to score. We certainly do. Please, Hull City. looking at the position in the table, it's going to be hard work to avoid relegation. It's certainly too early to look at the table. I say don't look at it too in detail before Christmas. But a poor result here today would certainly do things, especially with a 3-game week for Hull City and possibly a tough fixture at the weekend, next weekend against Sheffield United at the MKM Stadium. And Preston won't be a pushover either in midweek. So you're certainly looking at this one as maybe Hull City grabbing a point at least. That's all you ask for on the road is 1 point at home and try for the 3 at home. That's how you make a winning team. And this team were winning. And are now, with a couple of seconds left to play, see themselves 2-1 down. Coyle throws it in. Hoofed long by City. The referee's going to just tempt us by putting the whistle to his lips. Panda kicks it long. And we're just waiting on the final whistle by the referee. Forwards by City. Won't be one last ditch challenge. It's not going to be that. It's going to be back over the top and maybe one last ditch challenge for Watford. Hughes gets the right side of the man. Holds it up. Moves to Sissoko, edge of the area. Tackled by Charlie Hughes. Shoots. Blocked by Panda. He's going to smother that. And presumably as he kicks it long, the whistle will be blown for full time. It does so. Jubilation in the Watford dugout as that game presumably saves Watford's manager's neck and keeps him in a job for another week at least. As he charges straight down the tunnel. Doesn't even want to congratulate the fans. As Hull City, nothing shy, have dropped this one. A game they were winning 1-0. Ollie McBurney, first half, winning through the entirety from the 25th minute through to what was the 58th minute or something? The 60th minute. So 25th minute to the 60th minute, Hull City were winning. And then 2 errors, I don't even know what to call it anymore. Hull City just allowing players on the opposition side to get in open space. And that's what cost Hull City this game, and we've seen it in many times already for Hull City this season. 7 games into the season, 2 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses for the Tigers. It's good, but it's not good enough. You look at this one. Hull City should have won. All things honest. A struggling Watford side, yes. They have got the fight back energy in them. They are trying to work back and keep things going for them and save the manager's neck. But at the end of the day, it's on Hull City to not come away with at least a point in this one. Disappointing. Very disappointing. Well, that sucks. It certainly does. Mexico rolls. Thanks, mate, for the commentary. Hear you next time. Thank you very much for joining in, Mark. Hope you have a lovely rest of your Saturday. Have a quick look at the table as the scores coming from elsewhere. Hull City, after that, currently, I can't see it on the table. There we are. Currently dropped down to 18th. We are actually now beneath Watford. That's just the pure factor of goal difference. Of course, don't look into the table too much this early in the season. 3 points above the relegation zone, but once again, it's too early in the season to look at that. But certainly, points dropped here from Hull City. Scores elsewhere in the Championship. All full-time results have come in, bar the Charlton-Blackburn game, but we can presume that Charlton are going to win that one. They're currently 3-0 up. So yesterday it was 1-1 West Brom Leicester in the in the full-time kickoffs. Lunchtime, Coventry 3, Birmingham City 0, Wrexham Derby 1-1, and also Swansea Millwall 1-1. In our 3 o'clock kickoffs, it was a 2-1 win for Ipswich Town. Charlton have keeping their good start to the season going. A 3-0, that's full time now, against Blackburn Rovers. Southampton Middlesbrough share the points in a 1-1 draw. So do Sheffield Wednesday and QPR. Another 1-1 draw. A third 1-1 draw in Stoke City Norwich. 0-0 Preston Bristol. Of course, we do face off against Preston at the MKM Stadium on Tuesday. Tuesday night. So we'll see how both sides shape up ready for that one. Of course, Hull Cities do suffer the 2-1 defeat after going 1-0 up against Watford at Vicarage Road. And Sheffield United pick up their first points of the season with a 1-0 win on the road against Oxford United. And then everything's all laying right ahead for some midweek fixtures. Our first batch of midweek championship fixtures of the season, as Hull City will host Preston North End at the MKM Stadium. 7:45 kickoff, that being on Tuesday. Of course, I do have everything leading up to that one here on the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel. Of course, I'll have a vlog live after the game of that one. And don't forget, reaction. If you want to hear more in-depth reaction based on this one, that'll be live in about an hour or so after I come off the live here. And of course, all the news surrounding Hull City throughout the season, as hopefully things do turn around a little bit. I'm not in complete withdrawal symptoms of the good football Hull City have played at stretches this season, but it's been a little bit too inconsistent for me so far. And in a 3-game week, you'd be looking for Hull City to certainly pick up some results. They have Preston on Tuesday and Sheffield United a week today. So we'll see how things line up. Thank you very much for everyone who's joined in on the stream, commented, liked, all that sort of goodness. Make sure you do stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing to keep up to date with everything Hull City. As I say, I have plenty of videos planned to come out. And of course, reaction video coming out in a very short while. So I'll see you either over there in the next reaction video or in the next live stream. So up the Tigers. Unfortunately, come on.